What is up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build, going over what I think they do well, what they could do differently, and just the state of the game right now. As always, if you guys do find this video to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you think of the recent Mandalorian update. Since the last time I made one of these videos, we have had the Mandalorian jetpack added, the new dual pistols, I honestly don't know what the name of them is, and then also the Mandalorian Amban sniper rifle. I think of these items, obviously the jetpack is probably the most useful, but I've heard good things about the pistols as well. I just haven't been able to play around with them that much. Try to land towards the train this game, just hopefully spectate somebody who's decently active. I feel like a good amount of people often go for the train. That might not be the case this match though. And so now we are chalked. It seems like there's a few people here. Maybe we can spectate this, but this POI I feel like plays out very slowly, which is why I kind of didn't want to land here. But yeah, sorry I did not have a video about the Mandalorian update last week. I was away at DreamHack Dallas, and I intended to have somebody else make a video that I was going to post. But I ended up having issues uploading it from my phone. And so that was why there was just no video that day. By the time I realized it had issues uploading, it was like already like 11 p.m. midnight, and so I figured not posting that late would be better. But overall, the update seems okay. It's, you know, one of the late season updates for a month-long season, so it's not really probably going to be the biggest deal, but I think the jetpack is definitely fun to play around with, and I'm sure there's people that enjoy the sniper as well. In terms of viability, I think the jetpack is definitely good. I think I'd prefer to have the lightsaber in shockwaves like I have been playing, but I've played a few games with the jetpack, and it's not bad by any means. It's definitely not as overpowered as like the Marvel jetpack was during that season. And one of the really nice things about the jetpack is you can use it to kind of avoid the splash damage of the spaceships, because the TIE Fighter and the X-Wing both deal explosive damage with their shots. So like what a lot of people will do is they'll just shoot the ground next to you and then deal a lot of damage. But with the jetpack, since you can elevate yourself from the ground, you can avoid a lot of that splash damage, and the driver of the ship is going to have a much harder time hitting you while you're in the air than when you're on the ground. So if you just really despise playing against the spaceships, I think the jetpack will probably be a mobility item you really like. This player has somebody above him that's breaking the floor. This is an AI. So they identified and heard that there was somebody around them, and then their decision was to just kind of chill there and wait and see what that person was going to do and then play off it. I think it's valid, and that's one of the reasons why I don't really like landing at like really vertical POIs like this, or just tall buildings, because you get into like a lot of those kind of like cat and mouse games where like I know you're there, you know I'm here, but we both just kind of do nothing because the first person to make a play often gets punished. I feel like a lot of these larger POIs play out pretty slow. What the heck? This person's skin just loaded in real time. They were a default, and then now they're this. We love Fortnite. I'm tempted to swap away from this person because I'm not really sure how many other people are going to be in that area. This person has Chewbacca. They're near Crime City. They just got done fighting. They're trying to heal up. They're going to be around 150 HP here. I guess 200 with the 50 overshield. So that is good. Go for the Jawa shotgun, and then I believe that's the DC-15. I can't tell the DC-15 and the DLT-19 perfectly just by the icon. But if this is a DC-15, I think this is a pretty good setup. The DLT-19 I would really not want as my only other ranged option. I'm curious to see what he's doing. I think he's waiting for Chewbacca to resupply him, but I think Chewbacca just consistently gives mini shields and big pots. And there should also be vending machines in Crime City, so I feel like just relying on Chewbacca entirely for the heals is just not that necessary. Chooses to not go with the jetpack. I like this skin. This is from the Chapter 2 Season 1 Battle Pass. Don't know if Crime City has a heal vending, but I thought it did, but I don't come here too often. You can get the slap juice for heals, or just use it to heal up his white health. think someone just shot at Chewbacca. Chewbacca just dropped him a big pot. Somebody here, I think. Unless it's Chewbacca's footsteps. Okay, I know there is somebody here. This is where the Jawa shotgun really stinks. If you miss your opening shot in a neutral fight like this gun is not good. Luckily, he was able to get away and reset the fight, and now he's going to... He should win. Okay. That was stressful. He should have won the fight, but he also should have lost the fight. So I think him getting up that zip line and kind of resetting the fight was very good. However, he didn't swap to his spray weapon in between Jawa shotgun shots, and he just stood there with the shotgun out. And I've seen people say you need to sit there with the Jawa shotgun out the entire time while it does its cooldown animation. That is not true at all. You can swap to a spray weapon between Jawa shotgun shots, and it works just fine. If you had to stick on it the entire time, it would be a terrible weapon. And so, he hit that opponent somewhat hard. I think it was like over 100 damage. If he just swapped to his spray weapon, he would have killed that opponent, I think, before his Jawa shotgun shot was ready to... his next shot was ready to go. But because he just stuck on his shotgun the entire time, he almost got punished from it. And the only reason he's alive is because the enemy also threw. Like, they were both just trying to throw there. And that makes me very concerned for how this player plays. Because if they're going to do that in every close range fight, they are not going to last long. And they do have the DLT-19, which is a better spray weapon than the DC. Okay, now they have the DC. This one shoots slower. It makes it much better for long range, but it's not as good up close. It could still definitely get the job done up close, especially when your shotgun is the Jawa shotgun. If you're going to hit a fat opening shot like that, then this DC-15 isn't going to take very many shots to clean up. And you should still be able to get the kill before it's able to shoot again. If you're having to shoot the Jawa shotgun 2 to 3 times in a fight, like, that is not ideal. 2 times will happen, but like, if you're not doing spray damage in between, you're making your life so much harder than it needs to be. I really don't like that he took the minis over the big pot either, especially with Chewbacca. I think giving big pots occasionally, like, big pots are my preferred healing item to carry anyways, but if I'm going to have like an NPC resupplying them throughout the course of the game, I would also want to carry that just so it synergizes well. But I don't have the most experience with Chewbacca. But I believe it mostly drops big pots and shield bubbles. I think it's the A280. Another fine weapon. But that is so far my things to watch with this player, is how they play future close range fights, and then also if their heal situation comes back to bite them. Back in the day, minis were much preferred because it was like a fast use healing item, but once the heals were reworked in Chapter 5, I feel like minis just became like something that I really don't want to carry ever. People fighting at this lake, but oh no, somebody's shooting him. I was gonna say there's often AI around this area with the water. I thought it was 2 AI shooting each other. I don't know where he just got shot from. It can be pretty difficult to tell sometimes this season. Chewbacca just dropped a big pot behind him. He seems to think they're over in this direction though. Needs to get Chewbacca out of the storm. These NPCs died of the storm rather quickly. Someone is hacking the train right now. Is there anybody on it though? If there is, this shouldn't be priority though. Because there should be somebody around here, or like we suspect there's somebody around here because they were shooting his car earlier. This person in storm on the train right now is not an imminent threat. But if that guy is on the hill behind him next to his car, that is like a bigger threat. He does have Chewbacca that'll maybe like kind of start to fight that person. Doesn't have white heals here either. There's a vending machine here you can heal with, but that I don't know how much damage he did to the Psycho Bandit. Oh, he seems to think they're in here. I don't know if he has like visual audio footsteps or what. It doesn't show on Spectator. I didn't hear anything. Oh, Chewbacca gave him minis, so it's not just big pots. I was gonna say though, Storm is only hitting for 1, so it's not the biggest deal, but he doesn't have any white heals, so it kind of can be. And like, he's gonna find heals at some point. This isn't a permanent problem. But just imagine if there's somebody on this hill going and taking that like 42 storm damage for no reason, just makes that person's fight a lot easier. And not only is it like health wise, like they just get an already like advantage 50, but like this person in storm feels the need to push out. So like while the storm isn't the most lethal in the early game, like I don't want to just be going in there for no reason at all. And I think he's very lucky there wasn't anybody on that mountain, because if there was, that is just the freest kill of all time. He ran into a storm and then was just sitting there with his back to it. Waiting next to that house. Just went down at this gas station. Something blew up. There's somebody driving away from it. I think he's probably going to drive over to the... maybe he's just leaving. I'm going to swap and see what happens. I was going to say I think he's going to go and like look for an angle to shoot them, but no. This guy has somebody above him. This is a player we spectated earlier on that was just hiding when there was somebody near him, waiting for them to make a play. It seems like that's what he's doing now. Doesn't have a shotgun still. Oh my gosh, he's trying to get gold. But he doesn't have a shotgun still. And so that could definitely cost him in a close range fight, but he does have this purple SMG. So like, it's borderline. Like he can definitely get kills, but I still just think having a shotgun and the way you can play close range fights with a shotgun is much more consistent and safe than relying totally on a spray weapon. But this person's entire like MO just seems to be like catching people off guard and barrel stuffing them with that SMG. And somehow it's worked. They have 5 kills, but I think one of them was me, and one of them, like 2 of them were AI. I think he killed an AI before killing me. We can spectate Chewbacca. Never mind. Spectate Avenging Doodle. This is not the person we just heard jetpacking. Because he doesn't have a jetpack in his inventory. What the heck? I didn't mean to do that. I bumped my controller. I put my controller in my lap. That guy's just sitting in the passenger seat of a car. He's gonna get heals here. We know that the other person is in this building hiding though. So we'll see. Oh, he didn't buy big pots. I don't know if they were bought out or what. This guy should hear the other guy under him. He doesn't seem to have reacted to it at all though. I think this is the play though. Like, let's say hypothetically this person heard the guy like hiding in that building. I don't think forcing fights versus people like that is ideal. Like a lot of times people are going to rat in buildings like that. Just let them rat and then deal with them later on. Fight going down at Brutal now, I think. Got in a car and left. Still hiding in the passenger seat of a car. See somebody up there. He doesn't have any real mobility though. He just has the lightsaber. So if he tries to sprint up there with that and gets caught, he can just immediately get punished with it. The one that was hiding in a car just got a kill. I don't like the way he's sprinting here. You'd want like get up on the hill. So like he's gonna take shots at this, and he can maybe get a kill here. But with these 2 people fighting right here, like he can use that time to get up on that hill and not get held. Like I was just saying, it's a nightmare for him if he's trying to sprint up that hill and if somebody else is up there shoots at him. And so just getting up there, I think, is more worthwhile than like the little bit of marksman rifle damage he got. Now he has to zip up. Who knows what's going on over here? This is the one that was hiding in the passenger seat of a car. My guess is that he's going to drive it to the edge and then hide in it again. This car is very weak, though. Just a few shots and someone can get a really good initiation on him. Driving around in weak cars like this is like always very sketchy. We'll see, though. Yep. That's crazy. I'm somewhat tempted to just stick on him and see if it works out. Because this is like... Alright, that's the other person. So this can definitely work out. But, like, I think if he fights anybody decent, like, it's just going to go very south for him. Especially driving around in the weak car like this at 150 health. That's like half his health is just gone if somebody shoots at his car. If that Wookiee up there does, it's not like they're really going to be able to capitalize on it. But if somebody is able to blow his car up and be close enough to capitalize on the fact that they just did damage to him, I think he's going to be quickly sent back to the lobby. He's trying to drive away, I think. Maybe not. Okay. Car is running out of gas, too. Sorry, battery. Where did the zone go? On pump power. I think those shots are on island. Yeah, they're fighting on island, but he thinks they're below. I'm like decently sure it's on island. Bro, spectating somebody with a jetpack sounds so weird. It just makes constant noise. Person's gonna land on him. He gets good damage to start the fight though, luckily. He's just trying to leave and go to this mountain, I think. He doesn't really want to be on island. Seems like it'll work out for him though. I don't know why he hasn't drank the chug for the 50 shield he's missing though. Like, I feel like he's saving it for white health maybe, but I don't think that is... I just don't like the idea of that. Like, I would just want to be healthier. If a fight happens, starting at an automatic HP disadvantage is just not great, especially when you have the means to not to. I think he hit that shot. There should be cars in front of him at this gas station. Yeah, there is right now. There's a car on the pad at the gas station. Alright, he's finally going to go ahead and use the heals. I was going to say, I don't know if there's barrels nearby here that he's like maybe trying to get. I'm not the most familiar with this area. I think someone took the car that was at the gas station. Now I'm not really sure what he's trying to do because he's going deeper away from the safe zone. I think he's just looking for loot. But I think getting that car at the gas station would have been ideal, especially for a player like this that seemingly really wants to like be in a car. Like earlier they were hiding in the passenger seat of it. To my knowledge, the jetpack negates fall damage, but don't quote me on that. I haven't been able to play very much. I've only played like one day. I got back Monday evening. Need a lightsaber. Just blocking. This is not good. Just blocking. You don't have a block, bro. Like, these guns spray through the block so easily. If you think you're just gonna like be impervious because you're blocking, it is not gonna work out. Person also has no shotgun, which like I kind of already talked about before. It can work, but I think it's just more messy and less controlled. Car pulling up behind him and one of the spaceships. Person got out of the car, but they're trying to heal at the campfire. This would be like a somewhat ideal time to start a fight because this person healing from the campfire would probably mean they're coming out of storm and somewhat weak. But he does nothing with that time. And he gets the kill anyways because they're weak enough. But that could have just been a free kill if he walked out and shot them with the marksman rifle. It was a fight for no reason at all. I would want to be getting shots on this spaceship. I feel like I pretty much never see them in the end game, but if there's one present doing things, I want to get shots on it. I don't know if he really can here because there's so many trees. But if he has the opportunity to like damage it and weaken it and doesn't take advantage of that, I feel like that's going to be a mistake. that could come back to cost him. Focused on somebody else right now, but it can very easily start being focused on you. And if it is, you're going to wish you damaged it. He does have the jetpack, though, so like as I was talking about before, if the ship does focus him, he can just jetpack up, and then it's not really going to be able to do much to him. Running back to this house. I think somebody rotated ahead in a car. That person that rotated ahead should be the one that draws focus from the spaceship. Almost just gets deleted there because this guy had the Jawa shotgun, I think. I'm pretty sure they had the Jawa shotgun. We were spectating this person earlier. Or maybe that was just the crossbow damage that happened to him. Again, these were the two players that I talked about this game not having shotguns. And they run into each other. And so the fact that neither of them has a shotgun doesn't cost. But you see how messy that fight is? Like, he's just all his HP gone. Pretty much. And now he's getting attacked by a spaceship and has 20 health. You'd want to just be jetpacking away from this, but it's hard for him to do so, like scuffed in the house like that. And then he's just going to draw more attention to himself from other players. I believe there was a medkit back there. I think there's a medkit back there that he could use, but maybe I'm wrong. The spaceship started focusing the other player, so I would have really liked him just like chill and kneel there. But it's not going to happen, and I think he's going to die here. Stayed in the car for too long. Gets blown up. You have to jetpack up here. The only way he lives is jetpacking up. But what I was trying to say is it's like very scuffed for him to do that because the other player maybe just shoots at him. But his choice is to either die to the spaceship or maybe die to the other player. And this guy's also going to die to the spaceship because they just do nothing. I think both these people kind of fell victim to what I was talking about before, where like they weren't griefing the spaceship when they could. Look at how weak the spaceship is. It's 130 health. If this player was a bit more proactive when the ship was killing the man we were spectating, I think that he could have blown the ship up and then got a decent start to the fight. And then same goes with the man, I think it was a man, Jango Fett, Boba Fett, I don't know these characters. But the person we were spectating for most of it, I believe there's a med kit I saw there that he could have taken to heal while the ship was killing the other guy. And then maybe try to like third party that pressure. But he chooses to not heal and then just drive around and then get like keyed by the spaceship. I think both those players lost because the spaceship was just allowed to do whatever it wanted. And just don't want to let that happen. You can destroy them pretty quickly, especially if they're focusing on somebody else. And when it's a 1v1v1 and you know the spaceship is fighting one player, like you want to be third partying that as much as you can. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Comment down below what you thought of this. I think there's a lot of passive players in that match that really let things just slip, like let timing slip through their fingers because they're playing too slow. But I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.